Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a little update video because I know a lot of you are really interested in what I'm doing in my backyard for whatever reason. I think these kind of videos are kind of, boring or whatever, but some of you have asked to see the progress and stuff of what I'm doing in my backyard. So that's what I am doing today. So I have taken the last 2 weeks off to clean up my backyard, to cut down some of the trees and make room to drive RCs and stuff back here in my backyard. And so I have been working really hard as much as I can. I didn't get a whole lot done the first week because it rained like 5 of the days. And you can even see right here, you can see where I have my truck at, and it was just bogging down back here. It's 4-wheel drive, so it pulled out just fine, but you can see everything got real wet during the first week. The second week's been very clear, so I got plenty of work done. And so you might not be able to tell, but there's a lot of work that has been taking place out here. You can see that all this right here, if you're not too familiar with my backyard or what it used to work, all this right here used to look like all of this, where all the green is and all these trees and stuff like that, and I cleared all that out, and that took me a while. But now I got all this right here that I'm clearing out, and I cut down a lot of trees. I cut the branches off, and I was moving the branches and stuff before I was gonna move the logs, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this stuff down to about this size right here, and I'm gonna stack it in the back of my truck, and I'm gonna take it all to the back of the property and stack it back there. You might be wondering why I'm not selling it. Well, that wood right there, I stacked up last year. I told people, I said, if you want it, you can have it. Come get it. It's already cut to size and everything. All you gotta do is split it for firewood, and no one came and got it. So, I couldn't give the wood away. I see people selling wood. Some guy, he told me that he was selling, a truckload for like $150. And I'm like, how are you selling it when I can't even give it away? So, I even had one guy come out here. I'm like, dude, you do work with firewood, so you can have whatever you want. And he wouldn't even take it. He's like, it's just, he doesn't, hauling that much wood around is kind of a hassle. And a lot of people, they just don't want to come and get that much wood. It's a pain in the move. It's very heavy. You got to have a truck and, or a trailer or something like that. But anyways, let's get to what I am doing. You can see some of these trees have like a little ribbon around them. That ribbon, those are the trees that I'm going to keep, except for that tree. That tree right there has a ribbon around it, but it got knocked off when I cut this tree down. I'm gonna keep that tree, but you can see like that and that tree and that tree, and as they go down, there's like a diagonal line. I'm not gonna touch any of that. That's going to be kind of our nature area. We're gonna let it grow up. Lots of critters and stuff come out there. We got bird feeders and stuff, and we got a cat that likes to sit in that window and likes to watch all the chipmunks and stuff like that. So we're gonna leave all that alone. But you can see like there's a tree right there and a tree right there. I'm gonna cut all that down, and I'm cutting them off kind of high with the stumps. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back with a stump grinder. I'm gonna cut these off at the ground and grind down the stumps with a stump grinder. And so I didn't cut down that leaning tree. I'm gonna save that till last. I don't know how well you can see it on the edge of my property. I kind of just laid some logs down, just kind of help me visualize where my property line is. It's kind of hard to visualize. My house doesn't sit square with my property line, and that kind of bothers me, but it throws me off. I think my property is a little bit differently shaped than what it actually is. But you can see back here, there's a path right here that I walked. I walked a path, dragging all this debris back here. This is where I stacked it up a few years ago, and it just kind of decayed, and after a couple of years you couldn't even tell there was anything back here. But you can see there's a ton of limbs and stuff that I stacked up back here. I also did it back in that pile way over there that you guys are more familiar with, but I'm not going to touch. You see, from here back, all of this is my property. I'm going to leave all that, because in the springtime and the summertime, all that grows up and it blocks out like the houses and stuff from this neighborhood behind me. You won't even be able to see these houses when spring gets here and summertime gets here. All this stuff right here is going to grow up, and you won't even be able to see it. So we like that secluded feel that we get in the summertime. And so you can see all those trees with the pink ribbons on them. All this stuff right here, I'm not going to touch, more than likely. I might dip into it a little bit right over there. So I might clear all this area right here out, leave these 2 trees. You can actually drive between these 2 trees pretty easily. I'm gonna cut those trees and those trees down, and I can make part of a course or track or whatever coming through there. We can drive through there. So you see, we got plenty of space out here that we can drive RC cars around, even the X-Max and stuff. I used to have a track through here that came around through this way and went over this way and around that tree, and it zigzagged through some trees and came up through there and through all those trees. And that was a really good track for like a stampede. But we brought, you know, like an X-Max or a Revo out here, and once you get those bigger RC cars, it's just, it wasn't big enough, and so, you know, I wasn't really happy with that. But now we're gonna have so much space, because I'm very happy with how all this area turned out when I cleared all this out. I was really happy. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, you know, in a couple of years or a year after I did it, how it was going to settle and things like that, but it did really well. There were like big piles of sawdust in this area where I ground down stumps, and you look over here, I think there's a stump right here I ground, and you can't even tell it. You can't even tell there was ever a stump there. So after a year, you know, there's just sawdust everywhere where I got done grinding those stumps up, but then after a year you can't even tell it. So we got some natural little humps and stuff, and I'm not sure if there's a stump in there or not. I don't remember, but there's like hills and stuff like that. But I'm gonna have dirt brought in to make ramps and stuff like that. I know some people were saying I should get a Bobcat. I don't really want the Bobcat back here. It does a lot of damage to the property. It does stuff like my truck does, like this right here. I want to try to avoid that as much as possible. There's lots of roots that are right underneath the surface, and I don't want to go over there with a Bobcat and dig those roots up if I don't have to. And plus, I don't mind coming out here with the stump grinder. That stump grinder makes these little stumps stuff easy to pick up and pull out. So I am so exhausted. I am so exhausted. Every day I've been working and just, I've been so crazy tired. But yeah, so, but anyways, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.